Good morning, everyone. Want to welcome everybody out here today. The sun did come out. Must be blessing us here today. I wanted to start off this Earth Day week with this press conference. In the House, we've been, of course, working this week and last week on passage of the Marcellus Works package. Pennsylvania has an incredible opportunity here to expand the use of Pennsylvania's clean, burning domestic energy. It's time to end the rhetoric. We must stop our dependency on foreign oil and create a new family-sustaining jobs here in Pennsylvania, reduce transportation costs, and revive our state's economy. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania can once again be recognized as the keystone of our great nation. You know, the world is about energy production today, and just as timber, coal, steel allowed Pennsylvania to prosper in the past, so will natural gas as we work to tap our growing industry here in energy in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has benefited by collecting over $1.6 billion in state tax revenues from the natural gas industry. These dollars have boosted our budget to allow increases in education spending, improve our roads and bridges, and provide vital services to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The economic benefits are staggering. However, the environmental impact is just as powerful. The natural gas vehicles have much to do about lowering our exhaust emissions from gas and diesel vehicles, and replacing those with natural gas vehicles, we can see the following. Carbon monoxide, a reduction by 90%. Non-methane organic gas by 75%. Nitrogen oxide by 95%. And carbon dioxide by 30%. Looking at this poster, the sign behind me, is a great image of what I like to see in Pennsylvania. This can and should be our reality of the future. Pennsylvania will be paying under $3 a gallon once again. Today, I want to thank my fellow representatives from the House of Representatives, and particularly I want to thank the members who have helped sponsor this package of bills. Representative Denlinger, Representative Ivankovich, Representative Grove, Marshall, Mao, Pickett, and Watson, all who have come forward with great ideas as we put this package together, and we could not have achieved it without the leadership of these individual members from all walks of life in our state, as far as one part of the state to the other. So it's been a real team effort. With the hard work of my colleagues, the Marcellus package was developed to provide incentives to consumers in our state and to begin the conversion from foreign dependency to our own Pennsylvania resources. By doing so, we will see our job growth, environmental improvements, and tax revenue for our state. Today, we're going to hear from transportation operators and job creators who have made clean energy, natural gas, as part of a business model for themselves. I want our speakers to highlight and show how the Marcellus package can work for them. I'd like to start off by introducing our first speaker, Nick Benedictus, Chairman of the Pennsylvania, President and CEO of Aqua America. Nick?
Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Representative Saylor, and I'm very grateful to be able to speak this morning on something that goes back for me 4 decades. I was an official of the EPA back in the 70s when there was the Clean Air Act was passed, and the big problem was the steel mills, the power companies, and so on, where it was a very visible black smoke coming out of the smokestacks. But at that point, those of us in the profession realized the big culprit was still what we called mobile sources, so it didn't get political ire up, but basically cars, trucks, and so on, which basically have always gotten exemptions by the U.S. Congress. So we've solved a lot of the problems, particulates, sulfur dioxides, and so on. But the ozone problems, the nitrogen oxides, the car-related carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide still remain with us. So what I see is the movement towards use of compressed natural gas versus petroleum gives us a couple advantages. First of all, it's a homegrown fuel here in Pennsylvania, and this is exciting as a former Commerce Secretary here in the state to see the jump start the new industry has given us. We're involved with that. We build pipelines up in the Lycoming County, Tioga County area to service the industry, but it's really rewarding to see the economic boom that's created in certain parts of Pennsylvania and every part of Pennsylvania, because the law firms and the The engineering firms in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are also benefiting. Going back, though, to the environmental piece, we decided, I'm going to say 2 years ago, but really in depth last year, we started moving our fleet, which changes out over a 10-year period. And we have 3 of our vehicles, a big dump truck back there, which is now compressed natural gas, and one of our pickup trucks. We converted 7 vehicles. It cost us almost $700,000. And the problem was the new vehicles, because there's no economy of scale with the original equipment manufacturers, cost us more money. To give you exact examples, a van was $27,000 if you bought petroleum, compressed natural gas, because of the tankage and so on that has to be put into the truck, costs $40,000. Now, luckily, we drive our vehicles 10 to 11 years, so the payback period, because of the gas price being $2 versus $3, you can pay it back if you drive a lot and you keep the vehicle a long time. Unfortunately, not everybody does that. And I think that's why this package of bills, which allows for tax credits to subsidize some, I think it's 50% it calls for, of the extra you're paying, so that gives you time to buy the vehicle and let the payback occur. And it will be sustainable once stations are built, once the original equipment manufacturers produce more of these cars, then the price will come down. Once technology improves the steel structure where the gas is stored. But I think this is the kind of jump start it needs, so that we could be a leader in not only the economic boom of the Marcellus and natural gas, but also the environmental, because the savings on carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and so on are phenomenal if we can burn natural gas versus petroleum. So I congratulate the state for having the foresight to look at this, and we've already made the commitment over the next 10 years. Every time a truck comes up for renewal, we're going to replace it with CNG. Thanks.
Thanks, Nick. Our next speaker is Karen Teslovich, who's president of CNG One Source, to come to the podium at this time. Karen?
Good morning. Thank you, Representative Saylor, and thank you to the leadership in Pennsylvania for recognizing the priority of natural gas development, which impacts our policies in energy, transportation, the economy, and the environment. I am Karen Teslovich, and I'm the president of CNG One Source Incorporated. We are a Pennsylvania corporation that manufactures new natural gas engines. We also repower and convert vehicles to run on natural gas, and we build the refueling infrastructure. We recently acquired an engine manufacturing company from McKinney, Texas, and are in the process of moving the company into Erie, Pennsylvania. Yes. 3 tractor-trailer loads have already been delivered to our location in Mill Creek Township. We believe that Pennsylvania is the best positioned for this industry, and Pennsylvania has the best resources for machining and manufacturing. So for those oil companies that left Pennsylvania years ago and went to Texas, take that. We went to Texas and brought a company back. In the past year, there were only 2 companies in the United States with certified OEM natural gas engines for diesel trucks. One of them is the company we acquired. Our natural gas engines replace the diesel engines in medium and heavy-duty trucks for CNG and LNG. They are used as stationary engines for the compressors in CNG refueling stations, and they are used in agricultural applications as well as in construction. We hold 2 patents for the engine technology and will be patenting additional proprietary advancements through our company's research and development. By moving the company from Texas to Pennsylvania, we will be creating additional direct and indirect jobs in the natural gas industry with engineering, construction, machining, and manufacturing. We will be working with our local resources and local businesses to keep the jobs and manufacturing in Pennsylvania. In fact, in Erie, Pennsylvania, we have a compressor manufacturer, dryer manufacturer, filter manufacturer, and now an engine manufacturer. Almost all components for CNG refueling stations and engine conversions are located in Erie. And with CPI and McKeesport to complete the package, all manufacturing related to CNG can be accomplished right here in Pennsylvania. and this is unique to Pennsylvania. CNG One Source is part of the natural gas movement in Pennsylvania, creating jobs through the natural gas industry to keep our children and our future generations here in Pennsylvania. Together, we are helping our trucking companies, our fleets, and our consumers by providing cheaper, cleaner Pennsylvania natural gas. And we are adding end users, which encourages the continued presence of our E&P companies and puts money right back into Pennsylvania. Natural gas is about Pennsylvania. We are fortunate here to have elected officials who recognize the tremendous opportunity this industry has for our state. And because of that, we are reaping the benefits of natural gas development in Pennsylvania. We are excited about the Marcellus Works legislation that will foster the CNG and LNG growth in Pennsylvania. This is Pennsylvania energy, Pennsylvania manufacturing, Pennsylvania business, and Pennsylvania jobs. May God bless the United States, and may God continue to bless this good Commonwealth. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. And now we'll hear from Mark Bulgis, who's the General Manager of Republic Services. Mark.
Thank you, Representative Saylor, and good morning, everyone. Republic Services is an environmental leader working every day to protect and enhance the quality of our environment. Our waste and recycling trucks provide a critical public health safety service through their role in the management of society's waste. Unlike many other vehicles, our trucks travel every road in our communities on a regular basis. When fueled by natural gas, they also contribute to improving the quality of our life in our communities. In 2013, Republic Services has continued with its commitment to provide natural gas vehicles into its fleet. We will be purchasing 600 vehicles this year that will be dispersed throughout the country. Here locally in central Pennsylvania, our operations in York, PA, we just purchased 65 new CNG vehicles that are in operation today, servicing more than 75,000 customers in our great Commonwealth. Our decision to convert our fleet to natural gas locally was an easy decision for many reasons. First, in Pennsylvania, we are sitting on one of the most abundant natural fuel resources in the world, Marcellus Shale. Replacing diesel model trucks with clean burning natural gas trucks reduces greenhouse gas emissions and particulate matter and ensures air quality improvements. Our natural gas vehicles will reduce more than 50,000 pounds of toxic pollutants per year and 100,000 pounds of greenhouse gas emissions per year. Natural gas vehicles are also much quieter than comparable diesel vehicles, with a 80 to 90% lower decibel level. We're displacing more than 640,000 gallons of diesel fuel through this conversion locally. Simply said, it's the right step for Republic, for our customers, and for the environment. In addition to these local benefits, natural gas vehicles can be an immediate solution to our nation's energy security needs. Most of the natural gas consumed in the United States is produced locally, domestically, a lot of it here in Pennsylvania, and made available through an extensive natural gas infrastructure. The benefits of natural gas are clear. The shift of trucks from diesel to domestic gas will enable us to make progress towards energy independence, economic strength, and public health. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. And actually, Mark's company is my garbage collection in York, so I'm real pleased that they're cleaning up my air and getting off the far dependency in my own county. Next, we have somebody who I want to say Tony Banderas, but it's Tony Bandero, who is from the director of the Greater Philadelphia Clean Cities. Tony?
Thank you, Representative Saylor. That's my cousin, Tony Banderas. He's really my cousin. It's not me. Good morning. Thanks for inviting me to speak here. My name's Tony Bandiero. I'm the director of the Greater Philadelphia Clean Cities program. Our program is a Department of Energy sponsored program that promotes alternative fuels in the transportation sector. The Clean Cities program has been promoting alternative fuels, including CNG and LNG, for the past 20 years. In fact, this year is our coalition's 20th anniversary. We've been on the forefront of this green technology long before it was fashionable, long before it was cool, and long before it was the right thing to do. We have seen the struggles of early adopters of these technologies. We have seen the industry take one step up in the early 1990s to support the Energy Policy Act implemented by the Department of Energy, only to have it sputter and take 2 steps backwards, caused by the lack of support, cost of the technologies, and infrastructure required to move these technologies forward. Our mission then, as it is now, is unchanged. Our mission is to drive the wide-scale use of cleaner fuels and fuel-efficient technologies that reduce our dependence on foreign oil through education, outreach, and the creation of public-private partnerships throughout Pennsylvania. Many things have changed in the last 20 years, and really, many things have changed in the last 4 years. The discovery of the Marcellus shale play has been a game changer. Our state is now the leader in natural gas in the country and will be the top producer in the world. We are happy to have such an abundance resource within the Commonwealth. Finding new, but not so new, uses for natural resource can only be beneficial to our economy, our environment, and our national security. We applaud Representative Saylor for the proposal of new legislation to be enacted to help the citizens, businesses, and the municipalities of Pennsylvania convert their vehicles to natural gas. It's time we help put an end to our dependence on foreign oil. I have some did you knows. Did you know the United States owns only 2 to 3% of the world's oil reserve, but yet we use 25% of the world's oil? Did you know that the United States spends nearly $1 billion per day importing petroleum? That's 1 billion with a B. Of that imported petroleum, close to 70% is used within the transportation sector. So it really makes sense to convert vehicles to alternative fuels such as CNG. This fuel will begin to make an immediate impact within our economy by creating jobs in the natural gas and supporting industries from which all Pennsylvanians will benefit. We are one of 2 DOE Clean Cities coalitions in Pennsylvania that have been helping fleets, municipalities, school districts, utilities, and other companies, both public and private, with their foray and their continuance in alternative fuels and technologies that help lessen our dependence on foreign oil. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Rick Price from the Pittsburgh Clean Cities, who's doing a great job on the west side of the state. Our organization belongs to a national coalition of some 90 Clean Cities organizations that promote alternative fuels within the transportation sector. We work with the nation's largest fleets on a national and local level, forming public-private partnerships. We educate them and provide fuel and vehicles. Our organization helps with the chicken and egg scenario by combining all aspects of the project, including infrastructure and conversion of vehicles. We make the chicken and egg omelet better than most. Some of our stakeholders have been using CNG for over 15 years. PECO, our local electric and gas utility, currently has 15 vehicles in its fleet and was at one time up to 32 vehicles. And the poster child of the East Coast School District bus fleets is Lower Merion Township, who has 53 school buses currently running on CNG and have been doing it for over 15 years. With help from the Clean Cities program, these entities converted before it was stylish, before natural gas was discovered in Pennsylvania, and before the economics really made sense. Now, as we look ahead, we see the benefits that these pioneers have noted for some time, and see other companies beginning to make the switch. Fleets such as Aqua America, Waste Management, UPS, Republic Services, Giant Eagle, River Valley Transit, and Westchester University, along with many others. It's our wish to help anyone and everyone convert to alternative fuels. The legislation introduced in Pennsylvania is a great step to provide the necessary funding to support CNG and LNG applications. As the economy begins to stabilize, it is this newly found energy source that could and should help Pennsylvania become a world energy leader. I implore all fleets to begin looking at converting and using our organization as a resource, as well as utilize the abundant resources of natural gas here in the Commonwealth as an alternative to gasoline and diesel. In closing, we look forward to working with the Commonwealth, municipalities, fleets, both public and private, throughout Pennsylvania, helping to educate the benefits, interpret legislation, and implement strategies for conversions to natural gas. Decisions made today will impact our future. Utilizing natural gas throughout our transportation needs will help harvest our own state's resources. It is this commodity that will provide stability in our local, state, and national economy foster environmental stewardship in our businesses, and help America become energy independent by developing an energy policy that promotes homegrown resources, promotes job creation, and secures our energy future. Once again, we applaud the effort of the Commonwealth to provide support to help utilize our state's natural gas resource to be utilized in the transportation sector. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. And you know, one of the vehicles that we do not have here today, I wanted to mention, is school buses. They couldn't make it today. I think they're taking children to school today, so they couldn't make it. But just looking behind me, before I want to thank a bunch of other individuals, look at the number of vehicles today that's available to the public for use. And I do want to thank, and I'll get to them. I'll do that when I get there, I guess. But it's just fantastic as you travel around this Commonwealth, and I've talked to a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the crowd today who have been a part of this and didn't speak today. Basically, you know, we could stand here all day and talk about natural gas and how it benefits Pennsylvania from any number of things, from jobs and clean air and economic growth for our Commonwealth. But I do want to mention a few people who are involved today and who've helped so much with educating me and working with us as members. And I also want to make a note. We have some Democratic members here. We didn't recognize all the members, but I did recognize those who are sponsoring bills. This is a bipartisan effort to try and get off the foreign dependence of oil and clean up our air and create jobs in Pennsylvania. And I want to thank my Democratic colleagues for coming out and being supportive as well. So as you see today, we have some exhibit booths as well in the East Wing atrium and people who have brought vehicles. I want to thank Barbara Sexton and William Freeman from Chesapeake Energy, Abby Foster from, I'm going to screw this up, Saylor Media, if I got that right, Donna Isabella from Republic Services, Robert Ritchie from Drill Baby Drill Staffing from Roaring Springs, an interesting title, Bob and Jesse Beatty of O-Ring CNG Fueling Systems LP from Cool Springs, Bill DeRosier from Cabot Oil and Gas Corporation, Julie Bacon, BAF Technologies out of Dallas, Texas, Jim Finchen from Huffman Ford here in Harrisburg, Mike Killian from EQT Corporation, Hugh Mose, Mark Kutzer, and Jackie Streeter from Center Area Transportation Authority of State College, and I use them all the time. I don't ride it because I'm not from there. He's back there waving his hat. But I told him earlier that his ear should burn because I mentioned State College Transit System because they have led the way in this Commonwealth in mass transit conversion, and I'm very proud of them. I'm from York County, and I'm looking forward to us in York County riding Rapid Transit on CNG, but they have led the way in this Commonwealth in mass transit conversion. Ken Mortars, who's a bus driver from ASME, Local 1203B, from President of State College. Kevin Collins from CP Industries in McKeesport. Scott Sturek, Kim, and I'm going to screw this name up. I'm a Pennsylvania Dutchman, so my tongue don't always work well. Kim Mayolo, and Natalie Owens of Quantum Communications, representing American Natural Gas Alliance. David Kaleborn and Preston Hopes from REV LNG. Matthew Henderson from Shale Gas Assets Manager, Penn State Marcellus Center for Outreach and Research. Patrick Lafferty, Lehigh Gas. Mike Devaney from Waste Management. Rick Price from Pittsburgh's Regional Clean Cities area. And Dr. Letitia Clipper from People's Natural Gas in Pittsburgh. So again, I want to thank everybody. I have the members and the sponsors of the bills here. We'll be glad, as well as those who have talked today, to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you again for coming. Any questions?